mainly question wise. Okay. So what are the PC components? What are the components? Generally, CPU, central processing unit, which we are calling as a processor. RAM, ROM, motherboard, SMPS, storage, either it is hard disk or you can use SSD or a both. Okay, these are the basic system inside of a cabinet components. Externally, we have a keyboard, mouse, printers, scanners, mics. All these things we are connecting to our system to work with our system for different purposes. About what is CPU, guys? Central processing unit. Okay. So our instructions and data processed by CPU only. It is a brain of our computer. Okay. It's a simple single chip unit only, which is actually placed on the motherboard in the processor socket. CPU 360. Okay. So main major component computations are Intel and AMD processor in market. So every processor having a so it's a 32-bit processor, 16 4-bit processor. So bit architecture is there. Okay. So it's a instruction set. It depends upon instruction set is increases in 64-bit. So complex instructions, big applications, big memory allocations means bigger instructions used by bigger application, right? For to run a big application, we need a big size memory units, means RAM sizes and disk sizes increases. To deal with it, the CPU must be 64. Okay, so there is a interlinked kind of stuff. Because of 64-bit CPU, we are getting these benefits. No, no, it's not like that, guys. We need these benefits. That's why we are using CPU. So compared to 32-bit, 64-bit processors we can use bigger RAM sizes, bigger storage sizes. We can use it. So then we can run a big applications, complex applications, complex instructions, lengthy instructions we can do. So point is not that I'm let's say like a clock speed. Every processor having a clock speed, bit width, or architecture means 32-bit or a 64-bit processors are there. Clock speed in gigahertz of clock speed, 32-bit, 64-bit processor. Number of cores, number of logical processors, number of cores, number of logical processors, cache memories. Cache memories. These are the basic specifications. And as I said, like a virtualization. The virtualization, VTX kind of stuff, or AMDV in AMD processors. These features are there on that. Virtualizations, using virtualization, you can run a virtual machine in your physical machine. Maybe you want to do practicals on the Docker. So maybe in future you learn about DevOps. Then in the part of DevOps you learn about a Docker. Now you want to install a Docker engine on your PC. So there is a virtualization support is required. Maybe now you are not using any a VMware workstation or Oracle VirtualBox or Hyper-V, but still you need this feature inside your PC. Okay, so for a lot of purposes, of course, we are getting with this 64-bit processor nowadays automatically. Okay, so this is the some points in a CPU. RAM and ROM differences. What is RAM? Random access memory. All are quick review, guys, only, not exactly what we can say. We don't spend more time on it. Okay, read only memory means what are the data in the ROM, we can read it, but we cannot put anything inside. Random access memory. Both are primary memories. RAM and ROM, both are primary memories. The secondary memories, hard disk, CD-RAM, floppy disk, pen drives, all these things secondary memories. RAM and ROM, primary memories. It is temporarily stored data. Temporarily stores stored data. RAM, it is permanent. Permanent stored. It is example for volatile. Yeah, for our last few batches, I'm not typing anything, so not much. So my fingers are forgetted. Plus, this is a new laptop, new keyboard, hand getting pain. So volatile memory, non-volatile memory. Okay, later you can check the spellings. Okay, volatile means what is meant by volatile? When power is off, data lost. Data remains in device even power off state. Okay, volatile, non-volatile memory. Okay, so of course we can add, remove RAM. Can add a RAM, remove means add, increase or decrease RAM usage. ROM is actually, it is fixed chip on your system. Okay. Again, RAM guys, read only random access memory. It store data temporarily. It is volatile type of memory. But in a RAM, we have a different RAMs. SRAM, DRAM. SRAM used as a cache memory, which is built inside of CPU. Okay. DRAMs are actually our RAMs. This DRAM is further developed into SDRAM, and SDRAM become DDR. Then we have a different DDR version. DDR2, DDR3, DDR4, DDR5. We are using DDR RAMs. Okay. Here it is. You want to add RAM means increase RAM size increase. If you increase the RAM size, it increase the speed of system. Okay, higher the RAM, better the system. But to increase RAM size or to RAM, change or replace RAM, it depends upon CPU and motherboard support. Okay, depends upon your RAM, motherboard slots, motherboard RAM, which type of RAM it will support, and CPU, how much size we can put it, and what type of RAM it is, we can do it. Every RAM has a specification. One is size, second one is clock speed, and the model. So model will tell you the pin configuration, pin notch. Okay, so this is again what is RAM. Any doubts in RAM, guys? Please also, that is also, please tell me. Hmm?
No doubts, sir.
So again, read-only memory. It's a single chip memory type. So data and instructions. Data and instructions in the chip. Okay, burned into the chip. Okay, it's a read-only memory type. Actually, we are using EPROM, electrically erasable programmable. Very simple, guy. It is ROM. EPROM contains a program called, okay, it contains a program called BIOS. So what is a BIOS? Basic input
Output
output system. What is it is the program is called firmware. Firmware or a firmware. Firmware. Okay. Contains a frame. It is BIOS is a program. It is nothing but a firmware. Okay. BIOS is a program. So that's why ROM chip, we call it as a BIOS chip. We call the ROM chip as a BIOS chip here. It is contains a instructions and data as a program that is called a firmware. What is the use of firmware? Okay. Firmware helps to start a device, any device, guys, mobile phones, okay? Even you can, any electronic devices, things, printers, one if you take, you power on it. So the basic startup function is load from this BIOS chip, means the firmware will load first, and how to start the device, it will be told by the firmware only. Okay. So again, guys, the BIOS chip contains, means our ROM chip contains information of the motherboard. Your motherboard is manufactured, right? So that contains information of a motherboard. Next, your BIOS chip also collects device information connected to motherboard at boot up. At boot. When system is booted, when you power on your system, okay, your BIOS performs boot operation like post. Okay, what is your boot operations? First operation is post, power on, self test. What is the next
Self-test.
one is bootable device information, boot priority based on boot priority. Okay, like a post. First one is post. Next one is, it will tell you boot priorities. MBR or GPT records. Okay, so how to find MBR GPT record? Next one is MBR. Okay, anyway, boot process. I'll directly go to the boot process, guys. Because it's a revision, so not required any specific lines to follow. First one is post, power on, self-test. Do not forget that. What is power on, self-test? When you start your power on your device, first it will test to make sure that your primary devices are working or not, like a RAM, CPU, okay, motherboard on motherboard components working or not. So the primary device or should work. If it is not working, post error. If it is working, post successful. Next, the BIOS will tell you based on their boot priorities where to set a bootable device. In that one, their MBR and GPT records. The MBR GPT records will tell you this MBR record will tell you where is bootloader. Okay, boot MGR. Boot MGR bootloader. One of the bootloader or a grabber is a bootloader for Linux. Just example. So it will tell you how to load boot, where is bootloader and loading a bootloader. This bootloader tell how to load
Operating system.
operating
In the,
system.
in the
Locate
in the C drive.
Locates and load operating system. It will tell you where is your operating system. Of course, Windows, it's in C drive only. Okay, and where is that, which folder are having operating system, and loading of operating system, which mode of operating system has to be loaded, that bootloader will tell you. Okay, so operating system is loaded. Okay, now OS is loaded. What is the next step? Sign in, log in to the system. All right, sign into the system. Then what it is? Uh, Startups, applications, the services, starts. Neither your environment is loaded. So this is a your boot process. So normally boot processing will tell at a BIOS time only, but I told separately that time. Okay, so boot processing. Um, okay, so what is your BIOS CPU? Time వచ్చేసి పావు గంట. పోతే సార్ మనకి. Okay, awesome. Information of motherboard, collect a device in information means, guys, any device like new hard disk is installed or maybe hard disk is there, it collect that information. Okay, BIOS collect the information. BIOS, mm, there is a BIOS settings to change hardware device features or functions, enable or disable. Okay, we can enable the feature or a function or disable the features in the BIOS settings. Better to read the notes, guys. Because if I keep telling again, it become a class. That's the point. Okay. Boot processing is important, guys. Okay. In the hardware, boot processing is important. Okay. So individual device, what is CPU, what is RAM, what is BIOS, how to change RAM, kind of stuff. Okay. About a motherboard and SMBS is usually about your motherboard. They will ask, maybe possible, what is motherboard, what is switch mode, power supply, SMPS. And boot processing is important. And components are important. That's the point. That's the point. Okay. So I forget again, I'm telling the class. Okay. So this is the main points of hard disk, the point. But again, very important is hard disk and SSDs. Okay. I will tell about a SSD over hard disk. Of course, there's SATA PATA connections. Please read that one, guys. But I will tell about this question. Common question is difference between hard disk and SSD. SSDs, okay, in a hard disk, data stores in plotter, okay, which is nothing but a magnetic material. Okay, it's a magnetic type, magnetic material it is. Okay, data stores in a plotter. So check the spellings again. PLO plotter. I think that is the correct platter or plotter. Check it once. Hard disk platter or plotter. Okay, platter. Okay, but SSD data stores in their chips. SSD is a NAND storage type. NAND. NAND storage type. Okay. So SSD is faster, lighter. It's easy to travel anywhere. It is faster than normal hard disk. It's lighter than hard disk. Less power consumption. Okay. Less power consumptions. Easy to travel, carry any place. Costly than regular hard disk. SSD is two interfaces, SATA interface and
M.2.
NVMe M.2 type of interface. Okay, so which is M.2 is a faster than SATA interface. Hard disk having two type of hard disks, PATA, SATA. SSD, SATA, NVMe, M.2. NVMe M.2, why it is faster? Of course, it is directly connects to the motherboard. Okay, very less power consumption and lighter, faster, easy to carry any place. You can carry very easily. You can put it in a pocket and you can carry. Okay, so that is important, guys. Hard disk and SSDs. Partitions, file system, operating system. What is operating system? What is operating system? Okay, operating system is also a program or a software. Difference between hardware and software. Hardware is a physical components, physical electronic components it is. Software is a program which works with the hardware. Without a hardware, you cannot run any program or cannot run any applications program or a operating system. Nothing will work without a hardware. Without a software or without an operating system, without applications, we cannot do any work. Okay. So on hardware, to work with the hardware, we need a operating system. To interface with the hardware, to run any applications, we need a operating system. It is set of instructions or a set of, it's a kind of program or a software which we can able to interface with our system and we can run a applications on it. What is an operating system? It's the most common question, guys. I'm telling direct questions then. Okay. What is the difference between hardware and software? Some people will ask the difference between hardware and operating system. So you can tell for both the things for operating system like some to interact with the hardware and we need a software or an operating system required to run our applications. So we need an operating system to interact with our hardware. We need a operating system. Okay, operating system is also one kind of program it is or a software it is. Okay, So some people intelligently they will ask difference between application, software, program, scripts, okay, languages, is programming languages, C, C++, Java kind of stuff. They'll ask the difference in it, guys. So what is the difference? There is nothing. Okay. Of course, script is different from software applications, program kind of stuff. But whatsoever it is, how you explain them. So what it is and what it is. That is important. There is no specific answer for anything. Okay. Types of operating systems. So if possible, try types of OSs like what is SOS, NYS, single user, single task type of operating system, single user, multitask operating system, multi-user, multitask operating system, real-time operating system, mobile phone operating system, like any operating system, just go for that one. Few basic difference between Windows and Linux. And Windows and Mac, some differences, very basic level differences. So Windows is desktop and server operating system. Linux is basically server operating system. We don't use Linux for desktop purpose. Windows is Microsoft proprietary. Linux is no one's proprietary. Anybody can take Linux kernel, they develop and distribute the Linux operating system. Okay. Linux is CLI based operating system. And
Excuse me, sir.
yeah, tell me.
So Linux is open source. I mean, like
Yeah,
anybody can
Linux
use
is
it.
a open source.
Open
Windows
source
is not a
proprietary.
So Linux is a open source operating system, meaning the source code of a Linux kernel is available to everyone. So anybody can take Linux source code, means the kernel part and develop and distribute. Okay, no need to purchase. Okay, sir. వచ్చేస్తాం. Okay. Linux is its own source code kind of stuff. Okay. It's a CLI based. It consumes less hardware resources as compared to Windows system. Okay. So even Windows also having a CLI based Windows operating system, but regularly Windows desktops and servers we use prefer in a GUI mode only. Okay. And coming to Windows and Mac books, Windows operating system laptops in generally cost wise it is cheaper and MacBooks are costlier. And MacBooks limited storage space inside, and but Windows based laptops there is no limitation in a storage, external storage kind of stuff. Mainly in Windows can run multiple type of applications. There are a lot of multiple applications are available supporting applications in a Windows platform. Whereas a Mac and Linux is not all kind of applications won't work in a Mac and Linux mix. Even Mac OS is actually built based on the Unix or Linux kernel only. Actually, basic the kernel part of Mac is from there one. So they create a MacBook separately. Okay, the base is Linux kernel only. Windows is not like this. So Windows is completely different operating system from Linux. In Windows, of course, Windows operating system is more prone to what we can say virus attacks because a lot of viruses, self-executable .exe type of viruses meant for Windows only. That's .exe type of executions won't work with the Mac and Linux kind of stuff. And Macs, that to Mac, you cannot install whatever the application you want to install, you can't install in the MacBooks. You have to download it from their Mac's Play stores only. Okay, the specific applications only works in the Mac. So that's why some people they don't want to worry about a security related, so they go with the Mac. Okay, but Windows is it's a wide open type of things. It is very easy to learn and not having certain limitations on Windows, like to install and run an applications. It's more flexible, easy to learn kind of Windows operating system. Okay, but Windows kernel or a shell we cannot change, but in Linux we can change. Okay, so what is this much? Maybe they might not ask, but know about say more system restoration. What is system restoration? How to restore a system? So the most common question is what is BSOD? So in this one, what is a BSOD? Blue screen of death occurs or a stopping system error it occurs any failures or conflicts occurs at a kernel level. In a kernel level, what is there? Hardware and device drivers, operating system, and kernel services. Any issues or a conflicts is occurs like IRQ numbers, page file systems, kind of stuff issues occurs. BSOD occurs. So before you got a BSOD, what are the changes you have made it? You have to recollect and you have to do in a revert. Like if you had a new hardware, remove the hardware. If you change any BIOS settings or you install a specific device drivers, updated drivers, or maybe you install some application which involves or generates conflicts at a hardware level, means kernel level of operating system, then you have to revert it. How to solve a BSOD? So again, so once you got a BSOD, wait, let the system restart itself. Okay, let system restart itself. Then make sure that your system is not getting BSOD again. Because of in restart, most of the conflicts will be resolved by itself. Sometimes it cannot be resolved by itself at a restarting time. So then better to know why you are getting a BSOD. So based on that, stop code errors and try to revert what are the things you have done earlier. Or you try system restoration. Better try to go to safe mode and try system restoration. That is very easy thing. So what is a system restoration? So you have want to restore your system settings and applications to the earlier of system restoration point where system is actually running good. Okay, so that is some of the solution. I didn't able to recollect any of operating system things we discussed, but this is a very important things. Okay, so guys, tomorrow, so I will go through the service desk. Otherwise, I will give it to a sir. So compulsory don't do like this. So completely speaking, interaction is important tomorrow. So I will try not to ask one of our sir, Sai Prasad. So he will explain as well as he will ask questions, okay, about a service test and about everything what you so far you learn also. Okay, even he said is no right or wrong kind of stuff, don't worry about it. Okay, so try to interact with, get a clarify with that one. Okay, so try to tell answers. If you ask a question, give answers also. Even he said it is right or wrong, does not matter. It's important is listen to him properly and ask. You can ask questions also. Let him ask questions. You can ask questions. Discuss. So then you will get into the subject. Okay. I will ask sir if he is free tomorrow. So then he will take. Otherwise, we'll do another day. Okay. So
Okay,
So
sir.
that's
what
the
are the
point. Yeah.
questions that we have to do in cloud computing?
Cloud computing, what is cloud? Cloud deployment models. Like what is public cloud, private cloud, hybrid, okay, and services. Or cloud models also, service models. Okay, cloud models are any infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service. What it is? Example. Each one is what it is. Example. Okay, what it is and example and service providers, cloud service provider like AWS, Azure. What are the name you know? So GCS, GCP, OCI, any names you can. And any specific question like what is a private, explain about a specific service kind of stuff. If you have an idea, then that is okay. Otherwise, this is enough. Okay. Of course, other topics like what is a VPN? What is the use of VPN? Okay. Those questions also there. Common questions.
In Windows 10 administration, sir?
Not. I did. I will ask one, sir. Any recent batches got a questions on Windows 10.
Okay,
Okay.
sir.
Mostly like a disk management, file sharing, printer sharing kind of stuff. So I want to take that class last day, but I thought we are out of time, and I started this revision. That is, there is another reason is to revision means almost like more than 3 weeks we have done with this one. So I thought people will always forget. Okay, that's why once you revise, so you will keep a track of what you know. Important is, guys, how much you know. That is a different concept. So what you know is important. Okay, what did you learn? What you know is very important. Okay, not that's how much we learn, how much you greatest thing you know it, how much depth knowledge you have it. So whatever how much you learn, that is you should know it first of all. Okay, like how much you don't know, that is does not matter. How much you know, what you know is important. You must know what you know it. Okay. So people are always forget, these Instagram reels. I am seeing sometimes people are teaching histories. This is the great leader is there. He killed these men of army kind of stuff. He won 15 battles. So of course there is another side of coin is there. No? So he is teaching the history. Maybe he didn't learn the history. Maybe he's absent in the history classes in the school days. Okay, it's not required to teach. Maybe because it's not sharing information. So why? Because what I'm trying to say, things. What are you learn. That's important. What are the things you know? You must know. I know this one. This is the this. This is this. So compulsory. Go through entire notes. Any questions in your our notes or anything related you wanted, you can search it. If you want information, I can give a information later to it. Okay, so you learn few topics. The topics you must know what you learn. That's the point here. Okay, keep telling last 2 days so much of things, but that's enough. Okay, tomorrow we'll discuss. If possible, I will link the sir. Sir will try to explain about a service desk, and also he will ask questions. So compulsory today, what are you know, just go through once. It will become refreshment for you. You can gain some good ideas knowledge. Okay, I don't ask questions individually. So you'll gain that. And stop recording.